relief features. What is meant by relief features here? You know that on the earth's surface there are hills, valleys, plateaus, plains, river basins, rocky and sandy places also. What does it mean? The surface of the earth is not flat. It is not smooth and flat in this way. How it is the surface? Look at here. What is relief features? Let me draw what is relief feature. Look at this. This is the surface of the earth, what I am drawing. It is a plain area, plateaus area, mountains. The red line here I have drawn, it shows the of surface of earth. How it is not flat. Here it is one kind of shape, that is a swallow pot. It may be a tank filled with water, or maybe a small river flowing from it. The next another surface, part of this surface, this is plain, what that plain area, it is tank A. The next it is C, what it is plateau. Okay, what that plateau. And that is D. Next it is mountain areas. What mountain areas. So how is the surface of the earth here? It is not a flat surface. We find low areas and high areas on the earth surface, and that what we call a relief feature. What is that? Relief features. We want to show all these relief features of the earth on a map. On a map. So is it possible to show all these relief features exactly as it is on a piece of paper? No, it's not possible, right? We cannot show as it is. Then what we do? We use a method to show the places which are at different heights. The places which are at different height. Look at here figure 1.6. What is there here? It is hills, the figure shown. Okay, this is the actual figure. Actual figure. Understand? That means the real figure of the hill areas. When we look hills, it appears in this way. So it is actual hills, what is shown here. Okay, and it's below. What do you see? There is a flat surface. On that flat surface, something is shaded with brown color. Which color? Brown color. and some are lines drawn on that brown shaded surface, right? In this way, hills are shown on a map. Now, this figure 1.6 shows here there are hills here. Understand what is shown here? So how it is shown? Using a method. Some symbols are used in the map we discussed. And how it is shown? Different lines are drawn here. Right or not? Different lines are drawn here. Let me show you that. Okay. Look at here. This is one line. Here it is a second and third. And this is fourth. Right or not? So there are several lines are drawn. These lines indicate height of the place. Here this is the line number 1 I have given, that is the outer circle showing that the places which are at a height of 10 meters. How much? 10 meters height. Another line is showing the places on the earth's surface which are at 20 meters height, then 30 meters height, and next fourth it is 40 meters height. Understand? So in this way we find high and low areas on a map using certain lines. Those lines we call here counter lines. What lines? Counter lines. What is meant by counter line? A line showing the places which are at equal height, Understand? So the places which are at 10 meters height are connected with a line, that is one counter line. 20 number is there. It indicates the places which are at 20 meters height. So the places which are at a different heights, the places which are at different heights are shown on a map using counter lines. What lines? Counter lines. Understand? This is shown here in figure 1.6. These counter lines helps us to understand how is the surface of the earth. It also tells where are mountains, hills, plateaus, and what is the slope of the hilly areas. Look at here. This is figure 1.8. It is showing what that? Gentle slope. How is the slope here? Gentle slope. Then how can we identify this gentle slope on a map, right? So this gentle slope is shown on a map using this part. How are counter lines are drawn here? Huh? Counter lines are drawn here with certain distance. Look at here. How are these lines? Huh? Here it is shown 100 meters height. This. The next is 200 meters height. 300 meters height. 400, 500, 600. So what do you see in all these lines? 100 to 200, 200 to 300, 300 to 400, and 400 to 500. There is some equal distance is there. Equal distance is there. So there the slope is gentle from 500 meters to 600 meters. The gap is very less, very small distance. It indicates here the slope is not gentle. It is somewhat steep slope. Okay. So when we find the distance is much more among all these counter lines, we should understand there is a gentle slope. Okay, when there is much distance among the counter lines. Look at here. How do you see from 100 meters to 500 meters? There is a gentle slope. From 500 to 600, there the gentle slope is decreased. That means instead of gentle slope, it is turning to steep slope, right? So when you find there is much distance among these counter lines, you should understand the place is with a gentle slope. Which slope? Gentle slope. Okay. Then how is a steep slope on a map? Right? Let's see another figure to understand steep slope. Look at this one. This is the what figure 1.9 showing the steep slope. How can you recognize it is the steep slope? Based on the distance between counter lines. Okay. How is the distance between, how is the distance among these all counter lines? Very small, right? So that we can understand the place is with a steep slope. Okay, this is the what is steep slope. When you see the counter lines are very near, you should understand the place is with a steep slope. If the counter lines are very long distance from one to another, then you should understand it is a gentle slope. Okay, so with the help of counter lines, we can identify how is the slope of the places and how much height is there for the given places. So it is steep slope. Next, one more figure, it is showing How are plateaus? Okay, this is figure 1.10 or 1.10. Okay, what do you see here? It is a plateau. Okay, then how are counter lines drawn with equal distance, right? One line to another line. Among all these counter lines, we find equal distance. So where we find counter lines like in this way, that is here I am drawing with equal distance in this way. Second, third, fourth I am drawing. Wait. If you observe lines like this, then you should understand it is the plateau region. Which region? Plateau region. So when we find the counter lines are very near with equal distance, you should know it is a plateau region. When you find the counter lines are very far, you should understand there is a gentle slope. Okay, and where the counter lines are very near, it shows there is what a steep slope. So in this way, the relief features of a place is shown on a map using the what counter lines. So what are counter lines? Counter lines are those which show the places which are at equal height. Instead, these lines, counter lines, also called isolines. What is another name to the counter lines? Isolines. Instead, what is isolines? Lines joining the places with some common feature. What is commonness? Height of the place. Suppose some of the places on the earth's surface are at 10 meters height. All those places are connected with a line and it is represented with 10. Then you should understand it is a counter line connecting the places which are at equal height. So what is a counter line? A line connecting the places, joining the places which are at equal height. Every place height is measured from the sea level. Which level? Sea level. Because all the places are measured from the sea level to have some commonness. Okay. So counter lines helps us to show different relief features of the earth's surface on a map. So do you think that the counter lines are helpful or not? Yes, counter lines are helpful to us instead, which tells how are the places and what is their height on earth surface, right? Look at here, you know that there is atlas. What is atlas? In atlas, what do we find? Several maps. India political map, India physical map, Europe, Asia, West Asia, Africa, in that physical maps and political maps also we find there. So here atlas helps us to know the places. We can imagine what to call the life of the people living in different places with the help of the atlas, right? Look at here what it is. Telangana physical map, we discussed it is a thematic map. It shows relief and drainage, right? Let me show you that it is uh, what is the height of a place. It is given 0 to 150 meters from the mean sea level, where you see the thick green color. So it is a thematic map showing the relief feature. Next, what is this? It is also one thematic map. What is shown here? Rainfall, annual rainfall. How the rainfall is there. Here it is completely green color that shows above 100 centimeters of rainfall. Above 100 centimeters of rainfall, where the green color is there. Right, here it is given index also. Let me show the index, this one. And normal rainfall 70 to 100 centimeters of rainfall, that is with blue. Which color? Blue it is shown. So it is a thematic map. Okay, this is what map showing the types of soils in Telangana. Black soils, where do we have? Red soils, where do we have? So it is a map showing the soils in Telangana. So it is a thematic map. What is thematic map? A map shows one particular thing. It focuses on only one particular thing. In this map, it is focusing on soils. So it is a thematic map. The next, it is a map focusing on rainfall. So it is also one thematic map. Okay, so we have discussed the thematic map and relief features, counter lines, everything. Last, it is what to call aerial photograph and satellite imagery. What is meant by aerial photography? Aerial photography means it's a technique of taking photo from a helicopter. Look at here, it is shown in the figure. This place photo is taken from some elevated position, somewhat height.